Discovering your core values, the leadership compass you never knew you needed. Have you ever made decisions that looked absolutely right on paper, but somewhere something didn't feel quite right? Maybe it was a promotion you accepted, stayed in a role, walked away from an opportunity. Or perhaps you kept saying yes to everyone while something inside you kept saying, well, this isn't me. And why am I doing this? Here's what I have discovered after working with hundreds of leaders and professionals over the last 3 decades. Most people don't lack confidence, they lack clarity. Not clarity about goals, clarity about what truly matters to them. And when you don't know what truly matters, every decision becomes harder. Today, I'm going to help you discover your core values, the lighthouse with which you can make decisions as you come across crossroads. Because your values become your leadership compass, and once your compass is clear, decisions become easier. Leadership becomes authentic, and success starts feeling deeply fulfilling. Why do values matter? A Harvard professor, Clayton Christensen, once said, the only metric that matters is whether you are living true to your deepest values. I couldn't agree more. Think of values like the operating system inside your phone. You never see it, but everything runs because of it. Similarly, your confidence, your relationships, your career, even your happiness all operate through your value system. When you are aligned, when your work aligns with your values, you feel energized. When it doesn't, you may still succeed, but you'll slowly feel exhausted and feel that things are not quite right. And here's something fascinating. According to research from McKinsey, leaders who have a strong sense of personal purpose and values demonstrate high resilience, stronger decision making, and build greater trust with their teams. That's because people don't trust leaders who are perfect. They trust leaders who are consistent, who are authentic, and consistency comes from your deepest values. Choices, choices, choices. I think we all have choices to make. Once I made a difficult choice of leaving my 4-month-old son to go to US to transition a process. This meant staying away from my son and family for 45 days. Those 45 days were the hardest for me. But something in me felt responsible for the role I was in. It was hard work. We transitioned the process. It became very successful, and we won many businesses as a result of that. The business grew, organization grew exponentially, and I was rewarded very well. But I missed those precious moments because when I returned, my son was already sitting up. He was 6 months old, and I missed his first turn, his first sitting, his first clear words, and that really hurt. Being a good mom is one of my core values, but also being excellent at work is one of my core values and adding meaning to my work. So eventually I made a choice and I made my peace with it. I don't regret it today. I will choose it all over again, but perhaps with a few tweaks where I can stay connected with my son more often and see every moment, precious moment of his life. So let's do a legacy test. What is that? Now imagine you are celebrating your 80th birthday. The people you know who know you best stand up one by one and describe you. What do you hope they say? She was courageous, she lived with integrity, she inspired others, she was generous, she never compromised on her values. Those words are your values speaking. Because in the end, people remember who we were, not just what we achieved. I'd like to share a personal story. One time, I was in a senior leader role and being considered for promotion to the next level. Intuitively, I walked up to my manager and said, I'm not inclined to take this role, even though I'll get the MD role. To which she said, well, you have told me now, Mridula, don't tell anyone else and just continue to prepare for it. Senior leadership is really looking for you to step into this role. So I jumped onto the bandwagon and got excited about all the good stuff that will come along with that role. And then the conflict started with competing priorities and competing colleagues, with weak mentors that I had and strong sponsors for my competitors. And I got caught into this whirlwind and I lost my sense of direction and purpose. Till one day, my son and I were having a chat when he said, you have no time for me and a few other things that really made me stop and reconsider my choices. And it dawned upon me that I'm running a race that isn't even mine. My body, my emotional well being all took a toll, and I eventually pulled myself from that environment and I was made redundant in that role. It devastated me initially, but as I came to terms with it, a strange sense of freedom came upon me, feeling of liberation and connecting with my own values. I reflected on what values are guiding me. How do I recognize them at any given point in time? And am I honoring those values or not? So I'd like you to experience something. Let's begin. Close your eyes for just a moment. Think back to a time when you felt incredibly alive, proud, confident, fulfilled. Not necessarily successful, just deeply happy. Ask yourself, what was happening? Who was with you at that time? What were you contributing? What qualities of yours were being expressed? And now write down 5 words. Maybe they are freedom, learning, contributing, creativity, growth, connection, excellence, anything. These aren't random words, they are clues. Your happiest moments almost always connect to your deepest values. And what is the hardest choice? Let's make a deeper reflection. Imagine this, you receive 2 incredible job offers. One offers double the salary, the other offers meaningful work. Which one do you choose? Or imagine recognition versus family, security versus freedom, comfort versus growth. You cannot have both. Which one wins and why? This exercise reveals something powerful. Values don't become visible when life is easy. Values become visible when they compete with other priorities. And that is what leadership makes. Everyday decisions that leaders make are actually decisions that are based on values. And when you make decisions based out of values, something inside you tells you that you are on the right track. And also, when you go against your values, there would be an uneasy feeling inside you, and you will know it. So watch out for that feeling and stick to your values. So as we move on to look at what are our top 5 values, look at everything you have written. Circle the 10 words that appear most often. Now reduce them to 5. These become your leadership compass. Whenever you are facing uncertainty, ask one question: which option honors my values the most? The answer may not always be the easiest, but it is almost always the one you will respect yourself for. So, inner CEO connection, what is that? Inside the inner CEO framework, we talk about power, presence, and purpose. These are the 3 P's we talk about. Your values sit at the center of all the 3. Your power comes from living your values, your presence comes from expressing them consistently, and purpose comes from contributing through them. That's why discovering your values isn't exercise, it is an identity shift. So as we wrap up, I would love you to do one thing today. Write down your 5 core values. Put them somewhere you will see them every morning. Then ask yourselves, did I live these values today? Leadership isn't built in one extraordinary moment. It's built in thousands of ordinary decisions that we make every day, made consistently in alignment with who you truly are. So if this video resonates with you, if this video helped you gain a little more clarity, let me know that in the comments. What's one value you refuse to compromise on? I read every comment and I'd love to hear your story. And if you are a mid-career woman ready to move beyond self-doubt and lead with great confidence, purpose, authenticity, subscribe to this channel, like and share with women like yourselves, your friends. And until next time, remember, the strongest leaders don't follow the crowd. They follow their own compass of their values.